Yo, what is everyone saying? Welcome to episode 6 of the Total 90 podcast. And today, as you can see by the guests, we got a bit of a juicy one. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see a few months ago, I did a long Twitter thread with like 1v1 player comparisons. And I asked you, man, to vote who you think will be the more higher rated player in 3 years' time. Because obviously too many men have recency bias, too many men go off agendas or nostalgia or whatever. So instead of people saying, oh yeah, I always knew it, we're going to have live evidence. Now, we're going to have 10 matchups and we're each going to decide which person we think is going to be clear in 3 years' time. That's going to be 2025 at the end of that season. When this video comes out, in a year's time, in 2 years' time, we can come back. We can see who invested their stocks wisely and who is going broke because they've had absolute howlers. Now, of course, for a video like this, I got to bring you guys that they're going to speak with chest. They're not going to be sitting on the fence. They're not going to be saying, oh, but this guy, or maybe this, maybe that. Nah. No matter how right or wrong they are, they're going to speak with their heart. So, first of all, we have a man that was once an EA employee, but he was sent into exile for speaking his facts. And he's had to actually change his name now. He's no longer Maverick Plays.
What did you say?
He's no longer Maverick Plays.
What
he had to start a new life as Aaron. So what's good, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. This exile's treating me good, though. I can't lie. It's peaceful over here, this side.
Yeah, I'm glad. Maybe you can go over and join goals very soon. Who knows? Next up.
They don't want that.
Whenever we do our drafts, this man either comes last or first or last again. So once again, this man doesn't do any in-betweens. He's either the best or he's the worst. We have Jaden Manine. What's good, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. It's about to turn up on my day, so hopefully we can turn up today and not come out of any crazy takes. But thanks for having me on, mate. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the crazier the better. I can't lie.
See you. I see the people in the comments, by the way. Noted heavily. I got my notepad up. But nah,
we love them all. We love them all. And last but not least, you guys can finally stop crying. The Undertaker has risen once again. A man with so many agendas, I don't think he even keeps track of how many he's started, how many he's finished. But whether you like him or not, he seems to know ball. Apart from when it comes to Inter, he's very biased. Mr. Koto 411, welcome back. You've been missed.
Thank you. It's good to be back. The last one, I wasn't proud of my performance, so hopefully we can do better today.
All right, there we go. Now, obviously, the concept is very simple. Like I said, it's going to be 10 matchups of different players, same position, but there might be 2 or 3 years between them. Like I said, some of them might have had quite a poor season just now, or they've been having a great season. So we're going to see who goes off recency bias and who's actually watching the game with their eyes and not with their spreadsheets and calculators. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to go straight into it with number 1. Jadon Sancho versus Luis Diaz. 3 years time.
Oh, that's really good.
Who would like to go first?
That's really good.
Who would like to go first?
Oh my word.
That's such a hard one to go over. Are we allowed to like Google like people's ages and stuff and like?
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, Sancho is 22, Diaz is 25.
Alright, cool. Just to kind of have a slight.
Yeah. No, I know their ages. I know their ages. I'll give you a second to think about it because I think I know where I'm coming from. Obviously,
you need to give me a long time to think about that one.
You take your time.
You have to take so many things into consideration because you've got the side of Sancho where he's had a brilliant couple of seasons at Dortmund and obviously he's come to United team who ain't doing amazing at the moment. But at the same time, United will be back at some point. Like I hate to say it, but they've
been hearing that for a while though.
No, I get that. I'm an advocate for it because they're joining us at the table of not having won a trophy in ages. So I understand how
he
it
had
is.
to get that one in there.
At the same time, like they're too much of a big club to allow themselves to fall down into the depths. And someone like Sancho on the team as well, I don't think he'll go without winning a trophy and being back to his best like for long whatsoever. So there's that. If Liverpool carry on the way they're going with Klopp just signing a new contract as well, like that's why it's hard because you know.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's great. Cool. I know you got a bit of a thing towards Diaz and him looking to the side every time. Are you a fan of his? Are you starting to come around to it or not?
I don't understand why this one's a debate. To be honest, I think Sancho will be considerably better in 3 years' time than Diaz will be. Quite simply because his end product is significantly higher. It's been proven. We've seen it. We didn't see it this year too much, but I'm sure we'll see it very soon. starting from next year, actually.
But do you not think that it's a bit crazy how, we're all there saying, right, Sancho came from Bundesliga where we know the numbers are a bit, interesting, and he's taken a while to fit in. This guy, obviously a different team, but this guy has come to Liverpool and immediately hit the ground running. No, like, I need a month or two to settle in. The guy is bagging, and they're looking like they're not even scared to lose money anymore.
You could put me in that Liverpool team on the left wing. Salah
I hear that. I don't know.
I was about to say this.
I do hear that.
Heavy Liverpool tax.
I get you, but like
Liverpool
we've seen other people go in this Liverpool team, and they don't have the same impact. We've seen Minamino go there. He doesn't do the same thing.
No, but he's dusty.
Origi's been waiting like 7 years to become a starter.
Yeah, but then even Origi, every time he plays, he bags. And at the end of the day, fact of the matter is, Origi is an average footballer. Sancho is better than Luis Diaz, like Kurt said, and that's my opinion on that. However, the fact of the matter is, Bundestax, which is going to take him some time to take off, and then he's got Man United tax right now. And realistically, do I see Man United being Liverpool's level in 2 to 3 years' time? No, is the answer.
Definitely not.
And for that reason, I think the general consensus, because everyone goes off stats now. I mean, people think Bruno's a good footballer, but I'm not going to get onto that. Dictate people's opinions, and at the end of the day, that's probably going to be the case with Sancho still. If he stays at Man United, and even if he's getting good goals, good assists, if he's not winning titles, and Liverpool are, then people are going to always consider Luis Diaz higher, even if they have similar goal numbers, because it's popularity, isn't it? So that's why it's tough for me. So I don't know.
Final answer. What are we going with? We're not here to sit on the fence. You give me an answer. There's no fence. I didn't bring you today to sit on the fence. If you want to go Sancho, say Sancho with chest.
I can't say it with chest. Yes. Do you know what? Do you know what? Stuff it. Luis Diaz is meaty. I'm going with Sancho.
Okay. Denman, what are you going for, brother?
Hey, I'm back in Sancho. I can't lie.
All right, T for Sancho. Kurt, what are you telling me?
Yeah, no.
Yours is pretty easy.
Said Sancho for sure.
I'll be honest, I had Sancho all along. I just thought I'd play devil's advocate and see if I could convince anyone to go.
I feel like this will be the only one which we agree with.
Maybe there's a couple in here that I probably will agree on, but there's definitely a few in here that we disagree. Anyway, number 2, we have this one was on the Twitter thread, and again, I know a couple guys here aren't the biggest fan of one of these players. We have Ansu Fati versus Vinicius Jr. Recency bias versus whatever you want to call it. Is he a generational talent? I don't know. Vini versus Ansu Fati.
Open and closed book, this one here.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
Okay.
I'll let you go first, Matt. Go on.
Open the book.
See, the thing here is, and I will say this with chest. Vini Jr. has Real Madrid tax on to the absolute maximum. How many times when he comes up against Reece James or a good fullback has he disappeared from all existence for the entire game? Multiple times.
Wow, stop it. I won't say disappeared from existence. He definitely cooked Reece.
Multiple times.
Reece was probably the best.
The only time he did anything in the Chelsea game was when Reece James got caught up the pitch and he wasn't in front of Vini Jr. and he crossed it for Benzema to run away celebrating. There was another one where it was in the box where he did get him a couple of times, but he definitely gave him. Reece James gave him the best game out of anyone for sure, but I wouldn't say he was like non-existent. I wouldn't go that far. There's so many times I've watched him in Champions League come up against a good fullback and he turns into pass it to Benzi. I think there's a lot of
Ansu Fati is going to be better than him?
I don't think Ansu Fati is going to be better though, because I think Ansu Fati is also knackered. So I'm going to go with Vini Jr., but I just wanted to say that I don't think Vini Jr. is the player everyone is making him out to be.
Yeah, I think Kurt will agree with you. I know his agenda towards Vinicius Jr. is one that he thinks he's taking some narcotics to improve his performances.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not fully convinced yet about the transformation Vinicius underwent this season. But having said that, to answer this question, to me, this doesn't depend on Vinicius. It depends on Ansu Fati. If he stays fit, I am certain he will be ahead of Vinicius. Like, convinced, no questions about it. His finishing ability, his end product, a bit like the Sancho Diaz conversation, but Ansu Fati on another level, even to any of these players we've mentioned. This guy has shown already at a very, very young age that he can be a killer in front of the net. And sure, maybe not as good of a dribbler as Vinicius, but the gap there isn't as big as what it is when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net. But of course, his injuries, unfortunately, have been a big problem. But yeah, I'll go with Ansu Fati.
I hear you. I can't lie. For myself, I'm gonna have to stick with Vini, and I'll tell you why I stick with him. Only because this is one of those ones where I don't have the receipts because I was saying it like 2 years ago. But for me, Vini has pretty much everything you'd want for in a winger that you want to mold into an elite player. The finishing was horrific, right? We knew that from 2020, 2021, whatever. It was horrible. But I've been saying, once the finishing clicks, the end product is there, that is a scary, scary winger. I don't think you're going to get a lot of fullbacks that want to play against him. Obviously, Mav mentioned Reece James. Reece James is one of the probably, like, you could argue, second or third best right back in the world. And the guy is bolo as well. So to see Vini finally start bagging goals after we had that whole thing of Benzema saying he's playing for the other team and that, it's quite a mad... It's quite a mad comeback for him. And I feel as though with the way Real Madrid are moving, it's a tough one because it depends who they sign as well, innit? Because they're saying Mbappe might arrive and then where does everyone play? I don't know. But I just think I've not seen enough from Ansu Fati when he's fit. And again, it's not his fault because he doesn't really get a proper run of games. But I don't see Vini having mad injuries and whatnot. And he's only going to go from strength to strength. Obviously, he is 2 years older than Ansu Fati. But I'm going to stick with Vini. I believe in the Madrid project more than the Barca one under Xavi right now. So I'm going to go with Vini. Denman, thoughts?
This is what I was going to say with more so like the Madrid side of things as well. Because you look at the players individually and you can pick out strengths and weaknesses in both of them. But at the same time, like you need to take into consideration the teams they're playing for as well. Pretty similar to the conversation we had about Diaz and Sancho. So my vote goes with Vini personally because I, like you said, believe in the Madrid project more. Like as their players start to drop off and other players start to come in. So for example, Camavinga, Valverde as well. It wouldn't surprise me. Put it this way, it wouldn't surprise me if they win the Champions League this year. I know they're probably not.
I'd love for that to happen. On the side, for sure.
I know they're not looked at as the strongest squad, but I generally believe that Madrid are not that they've been off the top massively, but I do think they're going back to the top like fully, like with the signings they're going to be making. And I think Vini will be a big part of that. To be honest. A massive part of it. And that's what I'm going.
Fair enough. So there we go. So we are 2-2 for this one. Then we are 2-2. We are split down the middle. So we'll leave that one there. We'll come back to this at some point soon. On to number 3. I think I already know where this might go, but we have Bukayo Saka versus Dejan Kulusevski.
Have you bottled
2 players that play? Huh?
Have you bottled putting Foden in there?
I've not bottled anything. Excuse me. I'm getting 2 right wingers that are playing for North London clubs.
I feel like the question's usually Foden and Saka. I'm surprised Kulusevski.
Nah. Different positions. I can't lie. Completely different positions. I'm going Saka versus Kulusevski, who just pulled up a few months ago. That's what I'm going for. I guess you know what? I'll start on this one because I actually, believe it or not, I do like Kulusevski. I can't even lie to you. I like him a lot. I think whenever you watch him, he looks like a complete menace, and that's what you want from your wingers. You want them to like strike fear into the opponents. However, at the same time, at the time of recording, I'd like to think Arsenal get Champions League, so we go from strength to strength. Whilst Antonio Conte, as much as I love him as well, I hope he struggles and ends up in 5th or I doubt they get 6th. I'll say 5th
we're not
place.
getting 6th, I believe.
For me, Saka's been doing this at a mad level for 2 years now, carrying a very let's not get it twisted. We've been pretty much a bummy team to the point where, aside from Aubameyang carrying us for like 6, 7, 8 months, it's been only Saka in a team that's obviously 22, 23 years old. He's been scoring, he's been assisting. Every year the numbers are going up further and further. Even if we bring up like the whole Euros thing, where he had like a really good tournament. He missed a penalty, and let's be honest, the other 2 guys who missed for the next 4 or 5 months were awful, right? Rashford, where the hell has he been? And Jadon Sancho, where the hell was he for like 4? They were calling him 007. Whereas Saka, immediately, he bounced back and he's been carrying the weight of this team on his back the entire season. I think Kulusevski, as good as he is helped out by the fact that he's got 2 world-class players next to him, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go Saka only because I have to, man. It's Arsenal tax.
No, I hear that. think it's only right. I'll go next and just quickly bounce back on that. So with Saka, like, I generally think he's brilliant. Whenever conversations are about if he should start for England, I think he's the third name on the team sheet behind Sterling and Kane. Personally, I think that should be the front three.
Okay.
I know people might have different opinions to that, but I just think he brings a lot more to the game than a lot of other players do in the league. But that being said, obviously the question's next 3 years, right? Where we're going to see him. It's a hard one because obviously there's a bit of Tottenham bias in there because Kulusevski's coming to Tottenham not to just sit on assists, but he's sat like 5th in the rankings from assists in the Premier League this season. He's only literally come in recently. So that being said, he's been quality. The only reason I'd go with Kulusevski is just from a Tottenham side of things. I've just got to back my boy. But I generally...
Fair enough.
That's the hardest one. Go on.
I'm going to ask... Denman, I need to ask you this one question. Because I just want to check. So, the question I want to ask is, if you take Kulusevski and put him in Saka's place over the last 2 years, do you think he does the same as Saka?
It's a hard question to ask because it's
And
hard.
vice versa. You give Saka, Harry Kane, and Son.
I don't know if it's a
I'm not going to
hard
answer the
question
question
to
like,
answer.
'cause it's been asked. So I think it's a hypothetical thing because obviously all I've seen from Kulusevski at the moment is him being good and him doing what's like kind of asked for him and him getting assists, getting the goals. So it's a hard position to say could he do that or not. Do you know what I mean? Because whenever I've seen him, he's played class. I haven't seen a Kulusevski where I look at him and think, oh mate, like you might be a bit of a problem. Like I don't know about you, kind of thing. So it's hard for me to just turn around and go, no, he can't. Do you know what I mean? But that being said, it doesn't tarnish how well Saka's done at Arsenal in them years. But the question is obviously where they're going to be in 3 years' time. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, if I'm looking back in the past 3 years, I'm picking Saka all day long because he's been brilliant for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? But the question is obviously in the next 3 years.
The question is hypothetical, of course. I can't lie. They were saying before he came, he was a bit dry. But again, I have to give a bit of tax because Juve manager, we know.
No, he got played out of position.
This is a bit crazy. I guess Kurt watches more Serie A than either of us, so he can give his opinion on Kulusevski.
In like 4 different positions, like.
Yeah, no, he was always he was actually a massive talent at Parma for sure. He was definitely caught my eye when he played against us, but this one to me, considering Saka's age, I definitely have to go towards Saka's probably the toughest one we've had though so far, or I've had anyways. I think Saka can. It's actually a bit scary how good he can become considering he's 19, 20, right? Something like that. That's crazy.
He's 20.
So yeah, I'll go with Saka. I'll give the edge to Saka. Kulusevski's a very, very smart player. Like he's got a very good IQ. At his age, I feel like that's almost deceiving. But I think Saka can get a lot better. Saka's ceiling is a lot higher than Kulusevski, and I'll go with Saka.
Do you know how old
Kulusevski just gives me like proper like efficiency vibes. Like, you rarely see him waste.
Yeah, he's 22.
Kulusevski's 22, Saka's 20.
Yes.
Yeah, still young.
2 years in there.
But I get
Fair enough.
The ceiling thing I get. Completely.
Okay, well there we go. Number 4. This one is
Mav
probably.
Did Mav pick his?
Yeah, Mav went for Saka, no?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yo, I didn't say, but yeah, I said like everyone got.
Okay, yeah, I thought by the question it was insinuating that you were Saka.
No, 100%. That's absolutely what I was trying to insinuate. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. All right. Number 4 is the most talked about one probably for the next 10 years. It is of course Kylian Mbappe versus Erling Haaland. That is the one that everyone has been chatting about. Who is going to be getting all these Ballon d'Ors and whatever in the future, depending on where they go. Mbappe versus Haaland. Who's going to be higher rated in 3 years' time? I'll start with Kurt since he has his thoughts on both of them. I've heard a few of them in his streams.
Yeah, now obviously you're talking about, two of the very, very best. I just firmly believe Haaland will be better than Mbappe. I just think a lot of people have forgotten what Haaland's capable of. Injuries have definitely played a part this season. I mean, his record in the Champions League, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's absolutely outrageous for his age. This guy is a goal-scoring machine. Of course, Mbappe will be more of a winger. He's more complete. But the way to answer a question when you're not comparing players directly by position is who would you rather want on your team. And personally, it's Haaland. You're going to have someone that's going to score, so long as he does stay fit, of course. I think he'll score 50 goals a season or maybe even
I
more.
hope
than
that's
that.
all comps. I hope that's all comps. Cause
I think.
Wow.
I mean, I've got a bold prediction. I think Haaland may even finish as the highest goal scorer of all time. Actually, maybe even more than Ronaldo.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
That
that
one I'm
is
not sure on.
bold. That
I
is
can't hear that.
bold.
How old's Haaland again? Is he like what? Like
He's 21. He's 21.
21 still.
Mbappe is 23. Haaland's 21.
He's 21.
Yeah.
You got this written down in front of you, right?
Huh?
You got to have this written
No,
down.
no,
in front
no,
of you.
no.
Don't
Because
worry about
I
it.
checked them before I like put the matchups. I didn't want to have guys that had like 4, 5, 6, 7 year age gaps. You get it?
Difference,
So
yeah.
I had checked it like beforehand just to make sure they were at least 2, 3 years next to each other. But yeah, like, I hear it. The thing with me is one, obviously, like you said, the injuries thing. I think they're both fantastic, and whenever guys debate like who's better right now, I couldn't care less. Like I like Mbappe more. If you ask me who I want in my team, like I said with the injuries thing, availability is the best ability. I'd rather have someone that's gonna play almost every game.
I mean,
that can play left wing. That
The
can
injury,
play right
the injury
wing,
things
that can play
is a bit
striker.
of a myth. I can't lie. This is the first season he's had major injuries, and it's due to his ankles, and he is refusing to rehabilitate right now, and he's playing.
But that's
using
what I'm saying. But
injections.
if he continues to just
but previous
refuse
to
that, like, it's
he
gonna get
hasn't
worse.
had any injury issues. So
No, but he's
if he
refusing to take
refuses,
these injections.
it could get worse. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't think the injury thing's real. Mbappe could do his knee at the World Cup and be out for the whole of next year. You know, so
he could. We can only go off
know?
what we're seeing recently, and like you said, it's a current rejection thing. Now, for me, the reason why I would still go for Mbappe regardless, I feel like the Haaland thing, as fantastic as he is, a lot of it comes from people who have watched like less than like 10 Bundesliga games. I can't lie. People just wait and then they open Twitter and then they see BT Sports. Oh my days, Haaland the robot, he does it again. He scored
Wow.
28 goals in 33
Yeah,
shots.
but look at his,
Nobody
look at
will
his
watch
Champions
it.
League record, you know? Like,
No, it's fantastic. But like, did you see his hat trick from just this last weekend where they
it
lost
was
4-3?
2 pence and a tap in which he actually barely scored.
Yeah,
But
and a lot of it, I'm not seeing like crazy. People say like Mbappe's link-up play really like isn't really there. Haaland's link-up play, I don't see it. I do not see it. He is just a pure machine robot finisher, right? He's there to just bag goals and nothing else. Outside the box, I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see him dribbling, taking on. I don't want to see him do nothing but be in the box and finish. I think Mbappe is a lot more versatile. Now, obviously, to end it, in terms of who's going to be rated higher, I think in general anyway, all the kids are going to say Mbappe regardless. But I just think Mbappe is going to be better than Haaland. I can't lie. I don't know. I'm not going to apply crazy Bundesliga tax because you did say Champions League and whatnot. His numbers are crazy, albeit mostly in the group stages, which most people can do. But we'll see, innit? We'll see. Couple years time. I'm going Mbappe.
Kurt had me in the first half of what he said. The second half, he lost me. I can't like the Ronaldo comparison. He lost me, but he had me in the first half. I agree with what he's saying. For me personally, I think the way I look at it is I do believe, and I've said this to you before, Amenyah, you know this. So I do believe Mbappe has a higher ceiling in terms of he's more versatile. If he adds more to his game, he would be more all-round and more complete. However, it's a lot of ifs and buts. The fact of the matter is, it's irrelevant where Haaland goes in the world. Haaland will still score as many goals as he scores. And that's the way I see him. I've watched him for teams that Mbappe wouldn't even get 10 goals a season at. Get 20, 30, 40, you know? And in the champs as well. We're not talking just in the league that he's in. Whereas my opinion on Mbappe is that as I think he's fantastic and they're the top two that we're going to argue about for the years to come. But I do think he is helped a lot by supporting cast right now, specifically at PSG, in the likes of Neymar, in the likes of Messi, giving him through balls that are fantastic to his runs and his movements. And I think you then, when he goes to international football, he plays for France, and he's got Pogba doing it for him. He's got Griezmann doing it for him. Benzema's just returned, but he's also got Benzema linking up play with him now, so on and so forth. And I just think, and the way I see it is, I just think if you put Mbappe in the Norway team, do we see him as much as we see Haaland? I don't think so. If we put Mbappe in the Dortmund team that are this year, do we see him as much as Haaland scores? I don't think so. That's the way I see it. I think Mbappe's a fantastic,
I don't know about the Dortmund one,
player.
bro. You playing on the halfway
bro,
line. Mbappe's bagging 100, fam. Mbappe's bagging 100.
No, but people will say it's because of his age. But we'll flash back to when he was at Monaco. He was getting outscored by Falcao, so on and so forth. So
the primary goal scorer of the
because
team,
as good as that Monaco team were, they didn't quite have the quality that PSG have now. When the opponents improve, his output will decrease as well, because he's playing Clement Foot and getting a hat-trick. We say about Haaland's hat-trick the other day, Clement Foot would give Rotherham a bloody game. Do you know what I mean?
About Clement Foot. This guy was barking it off
You're
versus
so disrespectful, you.
No, but it's
Do you know what I mean? But this guy was been
It is
bagging
true.
like this year, last year, Champions League,
It is true.
finals, last
It is
16.
true.
Nah,
It is true. So don't get me wrong. I still think Mbappe.
Hey, at
is
least they
gonna
beat
be-
Clermont Foot. Someone are losing to Bochum 4-3. Who the hell is Bochum, fam? How you
That's
losing 4-3 to
true.
Bochum?
Yeah, okay,
Nah.
but PSG 3-3 with Strasbourg as well recently. So it happens to all teams at the end of the day. Stuff like that happens to all teams. But
Hey, you
I do
mentioned
think-
Clermont Foot, not me.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, because you know, if
I
you're
feel
gonna
like
say it for
this
one,
is-
say it for the
Yes.
other. That's all I'm saying.
Denman thoughts.
I feel like this is going to be another one of those conversations where, like, you see, like, with obviously the Messi and Ronaldo conversation and debate and stuff like that. I just think it's going to be another one of them which people will always argue on, because we say about obviously the quality around them. Haaland's going to probably go to Man City, let's be honest. And Mbappe's pretty much going to be at Real Madrid. So they're both going to be
That's
at
when
two
we're gonna
clubs
see.
who the majority of the time dominate games, dominate their leagues. And it's just going to be the case for years to come. If Man City were missing anything, if I don't think they are, it's probably that. It's probably that person who could just get the ball in the back of the net when maybe they're playing against maybe like a deep block, like against a Burnley or something. Because he will be the guy. You see, like City, they draw a couple of games here and then. He'll be the person who will literally be there to get them that goal and stop them drawing them games.
I mean, the Real Madrid game recently is the perfect example of that. How many balls went across that box and no one was there to tap it in? They could have been 7-0 up by the 28th minute, and that's not an exaggeration. Everyone knows. So, like, again, like I said, I do think Haaland would be a good signing for them.
I think
it would just be interesting to see.
Sorry.
So the final thing is, so Kurt and Mav are going with Haaland. I've gone Mbappe. Denman.
So I'm gonna go with Mbappe for the reason being that I think the club he's gonna be in, Real Madrid. I just think they're gonna take him to the next level. He'll be able to stat pad with him as well, and I think people will look past that. And I think he's a bigger name. I'll be honest. I think Haaland. I'd prefer.
It's tough,
him
innit?
by
Because it's
side,
not his fault that he's Norwegian, right? He's not going to win
no, I
anything
get
with
that.
Norway, but
Yeah.
I just think
it
in terms of
is
how
what
it
it is.
sets up, like Mbappe's just in a better position for like his image and everything.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the answer to this one, Mbappe is going to Mbappe is going to be the high-rated footballer because he's French and because he's quick. So no matter what we say, Mbappe is going to win this one. But in my opinion,
but the true
football-wise,
people, if
Haaland
Haaland is better, the true people will say that one. Like they'll know exactly who's better.
That's the way I
Right,
see
next
it.
one. Next one. This one is an interesting one because they're completely two different styles of player. However, you could argue they play similar positions, but I've had completely contrasting seasons. We have Romelu Lukaku, currently of Chelsea. Who the hell knows where he'll be next year? And we have Mr. Squad Battles, Diogo Jota, who was out of nowhere started just bagging bare goals up front for Liverpool.
This is
3
hard.
years' time,
Well, I don't think
what is going to happen? Is Lukaku going to get his rep back? Is Jota going to continue this form? Kurt, I believe these two players, you have strong opinions on them both, so you can begin this one for us.
I think you ought to be ashamed of this, to be fair. This is very disrespectful.
I put this in just for you, by the way. Just for you, I put this in.
This is just, of course, you know, the recency bias merchants will go with Jota, but I mean, if you look at the bigger picture, like, there's no comparison. It's funny because people say Lukaku failed in the Premier League, because, of course, I mean, this season he's been misused by his manager and at United. But look at his record in the Premier League. This guy scored how many? 100-something goals already. We'll see if Jota ever gets anywhere near that. I don't think so. Lukaku will leave the Premier League, and I still think he'll score more goals than Jota.
So where do you reckon he goes next? Back to
It's
you
a big
guys?
question.
Back to
It's a
Inter?
big question. He has to leave. People will always label, like I said, that he didn't succeed in the Premier League, but look at the goals he scored there. So that puts an end to that. I'm hearing PSG. Potentially with Conte. Lukaku goes PSG, he'll be back. I feel like wherever he goes next, he'll be back. It's incredible to me how, obviously mostly because of the interview, I feel like Chelsea fans turned their back on him. But if you know that Tuchel misused him completely. He used him as a target man when Lukaku is not a target man. So Lukaku will be back without a doubt, and there's no comparison, none.
No
Cool.
problem.
Denman. Sorry, go on. Yeah, so obviously the question's in 3 years' time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So in his Lukaku in his past, I think he's been wrongfully like slandered. I say wrongfully slandered. I understand like at certain clubs and stuff, but even at United, he was still scoring goals, just not as much as.
Oh yeah, it was bagging. It was just funny for everyone to make the memes of him wearing jeans and Timbs and stuff. It was
and
funny.
Timberlands and stuff like that. And obviously,
Yeah.
like we can't forget his time at Everton. He was a bit of a demon as well. Bearing in mind that Everton were nowhere near a top side compared to the rest of the clubs in the league and stuff. And obviously, if you go far back, you could look like Anderlecht and obviously West Brom. And all that. He's always scored goals throughout his career, and obviously at Inter Milan, he was a big part of their success, which I'm sure Kurt will agree with. Rodney Gibbs was bagging goals, but I think in 3 years' time, it's really hard with this because you see it a lot where a striker's had a good time and a good career, but he's 28 now. His next decision where he's going to go is a big one for his career because it could be the wrong decision on the wrong club, and then people will just forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Like obviously, at Belgium, he's been class, always scoring for Belgium, incredible. But whereas Jota, he's still young, he's part of a Liverpool squad who are obviously going to carry on winning trophies. Like in terms of individual performances, I'd go with Lukaku. Like I can see him doing good, but in terms of like the actual individual and people going, oh, like Jota's done great, he's won this, he's won that. Because that's all people talk about. People just talk about trophies won. Like,
True.
And I think it's going to be Jota. To be honest, I think in 3 years' time, Jota will be the better player or the better.
Who would you take at your team right now, Denman? Who would you take in your team right now? Lukaku or Jota at Tottenham? Let's say Kane leaves, for example. Who are you taking out of those two? If it had to be one of those two, who are you taking?
Nah, Lukaku.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll take a Lukaku.
Maverick plays.
Heavy contact.
I don't care if it's 3 years. I don't care if it's 5. I don't care if it's 15. If anybody believes Diego Jota is Lukaku's level, they need to have their head wobbled differently. Jota is just another prime example of Liverpool tax recency bias. Don't get me wrong, he's a very, very good footballer. Very, very good footballer, but just like Origi, he comes on the pitch, he scores a few goals when he's required because he's in a Liverpool team that creates 75 chances a game, and suddenly everyone's lauding him up. And I think there's a reason Klopp uses him the way he does. If he was this player on Lukaku's level, who is one of the best strikers in world football, then he would be played week in, week out. But he's not, and there's a reason for that. Fact of the matter is, Lukaku has been misused at Chelsea. Chelsea are one of the worst teams in terms of attacking and have been for years in the Prem. He makes runs. What happens? Jorginho turns back the other way. You've got Kovacic dribbling in circles, confused what to do with the ball at times. You've got Loftus-Cheek, very, very decent player, but he couldn't find the ball to Lukaku and he's making the run.
Bobbins, by the way.
You
say this interview. Loftus-Cheek is rubbish.
Everyone goes, he then goes to Belgium and is this great player. Oh, weird that, because you've got guys like KDB, Tielemans now supplying him with the passes on the runs that he's making. I wonder why that is, because he's making these fantastic runs and just not being found. It's never going to work for him.
We found out what team he goes to, innit?
It's
you know what it
never
is?
gonna
It's a
work
sticky one for me because to be devil's advocate, yeah. Here's what confuses me about Jota. Whenever I see him, like I don't rate him. I don't see anything. I'm like, yeah, this guy, he's fantastic. Obviously, he scored a mad goal against us. Funnily enough, every other goal is just like it's insane movement. I don't see anything other than like this guy is winning headers against people that are like a foot taller than him. I don't know how he finds a space. He finds a movement. One thing I would say, you mentioned obviously he's doing it in a Liverpool team that obviously is very easy to get a lot of goals. However, he has come in as a rotational player initially and displaced one part of the massive trio that they've been trying to squeeze the last bit of toothpaste out for the last 6 years in Firmino. Firmino was not bagging goals. He makes
Liverpool tick, right? He's the only thing.
Firmino makes Liverpool tick. It's all about Firmino. They were saying, "Oh, why has Firmino got one goal?" Oh, you don't look at the goal. Look at what Firmino does.
Man.
They sacked off Firmino. Jota's come in and robbed his place. Is Firmino even next after that? No, I think even Diaz comes in before Firmino at this point.
I wouldn't say he's robbed his place if a guy's on the medical table, but fair enough. I mean, you can't exactly rob his place
when they're both fit. Jota definitely starts over him and will continue to do so because this guy is when all
front three are fit right now, it is Salah, Mane and Diaz because they are all good players. They are the starting three. They will be the starting three. And again, if Jota is this good, why does he keep getting displaced? As soon as people are fit, why is he getting displaced again?
I don't think it's even people being. I just think they just rotate.
You're saying he's displacing someone. The guy was injured. How are you not? You expect him to be running around with his leg taped up? I'm confused.
When they were fit, Jota was playing. When they were fit, Jota was playing.
No,
Either way, like, I don't even like
was
Jota.
not.
I don't even know why I'm
No,
arguing
he
this
was
case.
not.
I don't even like him.
Match
I actually
up,
don't even like the
Firmino
guy.
starts over him 100%. Klopp starts Firmino over Jota if Firmino's match fit.
think so?
100%. Match.
I don't know.
He does.
I don't
He
think
did.
so. I don't think he
literally
does.
did.
I don't know about that personally, but nevertheless, I'm gonna go Lukaku anyway. I can't lie. I just put that one in there to rattle Kurt a little bit because I thought it would be funny to see Lukaku compared against Jota. So I'm gonna go Lukaku. Obviously, I don't think he stays at Chelsea. He might have maybe one more year just if they try and fix things and amend things. But I don't see it happening. Tuchel clearly isn't a fan, or I don't know what the hell is going on there. But nevertheless, let's move on. Number 6 of 10, we have another Arsenal-related one. So I'm gonna be a little bit biased if you don't mind me.
Here we go.
Gabriel Martinelli, Marcus Rashford. 3 years' time. Is Rashford going to be back to the heights that he achieved when he was, let's say, Martinelli's age? Because let's not lie, Rashford was definitely clear of Martinelli at their respective ages. However, is he going to leave United? Is he going to stay? Is he going to be starting? I don't know. They're saying Elanga took his spot already. They were saying Rashford tweeted out, "Get that head of yours up immediately," and he just took his spot.
Man.
So I don't know. And then when thoughts.
I'll be honest. I did not expect a matchup like this. I'll be real. It's kind of thrown me off massively.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I'd just put in some crazy ones in there, but that are similar position-wise.
The thing is, it's not possible to not have an opinion on this because, like, it's hard. But I don't have a clue, mate. Like, 'cause obviously, look, Martinelli, he looks dangerous. He looks good whenever he plays for Arsenal. Like, I've not really seen him be crazy, like do anything mental. But he's just a typical Brazilian winger / forward, isn't he? Like whenever he plays on the wing, he's just turning people inside out. I think
he's different, you know. I think the reason why he's different is because you usually have the wingers that are just technically gifted and they're either outrageous dribblers
he's
or
a good
whatever.
finisher. Very good finisher.
I think it's his work rate and tenacity that just makes him crazy, bro. Like this guy, he doesn't leave like any loose ball whatsoever. Now saying that, obviously, like I said, Rashford was clear and by a country mile at their respective ages, but if Rashford leaves United, does he go to a better team than United?
You know why it's hard? Because we're talking about a player who's obviously not just bursting onto the scene with Arsenal, but like has been here for like the last year and a half, 2 years.
That Mika Richards level of bursting onto the scene.
Yeah, bursting's
but that's why. So we are here to invest our stocks. Are you willing to invest your stocks in Martinelli?
Who's playing really good for Arsenal, and obviously he's won the fans over. The Arsenal fans love him, and we're looking at a player who, at Rashford, is out of choice. He's got United fans, some United fans that are all calling for his head. It's just one of those ones where obviously I will say Martinelli. I will say Martinelli because the Rashford ship could have sailed.
Mav, your thoughts on Rash Bongo?
It depends.
No, you are sure. There's no sitting on the fence. You've made up your mind. It's Martinelli.
I made up my mind. It's Martinelli.
Right now, the Tom Hardy meme is in my head with just pointing and saying, "This is bait." No, it's Rashford. I don't know actually what to say. I don't know what more to say. Martinelli is great. He's a very good player, but Martinelli doesn't have what Rashford potentially could have. And yeah, I know Rashford's on a downturn right now. Don't get me wrong, but
I wouldn't even say now. You know, that's like a long time to be a downturn, bro.
Yeah, but when's Martinelli ever had an upturn like Rashford's had in his career? Please, I'd love to know. The guy's made of glass.
Agreeing with you.
I don't. No, but this is what I'm saying. So like, this is what is going through my head in terms of comparing them. Like, it doesn't matter if Rashford doesn't play another minute for the next 3 years. Martinelli would have to do a serious level of improvement to even get to a level Rashford has ever been. That's the way I see it. So
no, you're not. But it's not about comparing who had the best peak. It's going to be in 2025 who is going to be the more desirable player, not Martinelli reach what Rashford did in 2018.
Man said if Rashford don't play another minute, he'd still be a
Do you know what I mean? Like, how can he be?
No,
bro,
but
I'll be
do-
better
do
than
you get
Rashford
what
if he
I
doesn't
mean?
play
Like,
again.
if we're going off who you consider a better footballer, like I said, Martinelli has to do a lot in those 3 years to be considered a better footballer than Rashford, in my opinion. If you're going like we go exactly 3 years from this date and then ask who would you
Yes.
rather have in your team that way around, then it depends.
That is how we are phrasing
Okay,
these
then
statements.
that is a toss of a coin because Martinelli probably won't be fit.
Toss the coin for us.
You know,
Toss the coin for us.
Martinelli probably won't be fit. Hey, Rashford might be playing for MK Dons by that point. We never know. With the way that Don's moving right now.
That is why. So the aim of this is we literally invest in our stocks. So obviously Martinelli's one is very risky, but so is Rashford's because this guy has been medium. Whilst you think of your coin flip, I'll let Kurt give his contribution to this one.
Yeah, no, I think, Mav, you pretty much almost answered your own question towards the end there. I think the way to look at this is I think Martinelli is overrated, but I see in 3 years' time, Martinelli will still be playing for a top club, whereas I see Rashford playing for, all due respect to these teams, Aston Villa or West Ham. Really. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Therefore, Martinelli.
I hear it. So we're saying that there's no hope of Rashford regaining his
I see
fullback.
Rashford's situation, and I think of Dele Alli. No, not in terms of like how they both
Agree.
play, but I see
Absolutely.
it.
I get what
as
you're
like
saying. I get
how
what you're saying.
You,
yeah.
you kind of take it one of two ways. Now this summer, Rashford just needs to take a long look at himself and understand what he wants to do, and like understand what he needs to do to get back to. People will probably try when I say the top, but like the way he was before and how dangerous he was going forward and stuff like that.
No,
So-
he was great. I mean, the fact that we're comparing him, because let me not lie, like, I know Martinelli is not that guy, right? He is, by Arsenal fans, we love him a bit too much. The fact that Rashford's gone from being compared to Mbappe by some people to now he's chilling with Martinelli, it's a bit scary. I can't lie. It's a bit scary.
Oh no, it's great, and it's justified. He's not that guy anymore. Same with Dele Alli. He's just not that guy anymore.
So
Can we bring it
final
back?
answer, each person.
Martinelli.
One word.
Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli.
Okay, I'll go Martinelli as well. That is interesting. All right. Number 7. We've got 4 left. We're off to Serie A. This one,
God.
I have my
Serie A,
favorite
so-
one
Oh
here.
God, here we go.
We are going Osimhen versus Vlahovic. Osimhen versus
this is
Vlahovic.
clear
I guess
for me.
Kurt can start this one because he watches a lot of Serie A. I know from what I've seen my answer, but I'll let Kurt go to begin with.
Yeah, no, this is definitely two top strikers. I always say this, actually. I feel like you guys in the Premier League have been a little bit devoided of top strikers, with the exception of Harry Kane this
100%.
season. Obviously, Lukaku being misused.
The best teams don't really have strikers in the
No,
Premier League. to be honest
that's
with you.
also true.
No.
These two are two of the best, I think, number 9s. Vlahovic picked the wrong team, and I'm not just saying that because I'm an Inter fan. I think even Juve fans will agree he's already being misused by a manager who, to say the very least, doesn't really care too much about attacking. He's cold.
Yeah.
This guy, I've seen him chip pants when it's like 0-0 playing against Juventus when he used to play for Fiorentina, and he's there, chipping pants. The guy is ice cold. Osimhen is a little bit more well-rounded. He likes to work the lines better. He's quicker. His heading has improved dramatically. I think Osimhen will be on his way to the Premier League soon. I'm hearing Arsenal or
Hopefully.
United. I think he'll do very well at either of those two teams. But I will go with Vlahovic just because he is better. But we'll see. I mean, this could easily go the other way, but I'm going to go with Vlahovic.
For me, yeah. So obviously, like you said, we've been linked with Osimhen, and having seen him enough times, yeah, I just think I wasn't watching Fiorentina like that too tough. I can't lie. The more I've seen more of Vlahovic since he's been at Juve. I watched they played, was it Spezia or whatever this weekend. The difference between the two of them, I would say Vlahovic is probably more of like a finisher again. Like you said, he's just ruthless in front of goal. He bags. But what I see from Osimhen is perfect for the Premier League. Like, you get those strikers that, like, again, are constantly just running into space or hounding defenders down, not giving them any space. And we have a lot of strikers that are above 6 foot that cannot head the ball to save their life. I've never seen, for example, like Lukaku's never been crazy, in the air. He scores a few headers, but he's never been like ruthless. when I see Osimhen, apart from when he played for Nigeria against Ghana and he was smashing overhead kicks over the bar, his heading has been outrageous. So me personally, mostly because Vlahovic aired Edu's phone calls, I'm gonna go with Victor Osimhen and hope that he does indeed come to Arsenal. Otherwise, if he comes to United, I'm retracting it and I'll just let Vlahovic have it.
Mine's quite a simple one. Mine's quite quick. I haven't watched much Serie A, if I'm honest with you. Whenever I have, correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, Kurt, you watch a lot of Serie A, and I'm sure you boys have probably watched Serie A more than me. I get Haaland vibes from Vlahovic. I don't know why. Just in terms of like his whole aura, the way he is and the way he finishes, I just get. Whenever I've watched a small clips of him, which I have, I just see just a stone cold killer in front of goal. And
I kind of hear that one, to be fair.
I kind of. There's similarities in there, but obviously Haaland's better in my opinion. But I haven't watched too much of Osimhen, to be honest, so I'm gonna have to go with Vlahovic. Maybe I should watch more Serie A, but yeah, I haven't watched.
No, you shouldn't. It's boring, bro. Don't. I watched Juve because there was nothing else on. I was having breakfast watching Juve. I said, "What am I doing with my life, bro? This is the deadest game I've ever seen." Mav, over to you, sir.
This is my answer is Vlahovic. That's my. I'm not gonna make it too long. However, I think this is one where Osimhen might go on top if he goes to Arsenal. I think the main reason being as well, I think the Serie A, like Kurt mentioned and like we mentioned, is a league where as a front man you can thrive a lot more because they do play into front men a lot more and the way the teams play. But is he going to be bagging 20s plus a season? Don't see it. Whereas Vlahovic very much could in Serie A. So I'm going Vlahovic.
Yeah, that's why he stayed in Serie A. He ran from the grind. The Premier League came calling. He got shook and said, "No, thank you. I'm going to stay in Italy." Just like the other ones as well. They stay in Italy because they're scared. They saw what happened to Immobile. They said, "Nope, no, thank you." All right. So three of you went Vlahovic, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm going Osimhen. I'll be the lone wolf on that one. Right. Number 8. This one, the quality is going down a little bit for this particular one here. But it's still going to be interesting nonetheless. Ivan Toney versus Tammy Abraham, who's also in the Serie A theme. Tammy Abraham. Mav, you are
not a question.
A fan of Abraham.
Not a question. Waste of time.
Go on. I know your answer, but go on. For those who don't know.
Tammy Abraham. Absolutely Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham has so much more to his game than Ivan Toney. Obviously, being a Villa fan and watching him destroy the Championship, I've seen that this guy has skills. He's 6'6" and he has skills. His footwork is incredible. Ivan Toney, very decent player. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to be one of those Origi style players that if he gets a move to a big team, he'll play in the Carabao Cup every now and then. And when injuries happen, he'll play. But I think Tammy Abraham, if given the right opportunities, can be up there as one of the very good, not world class, but one of the very good strikers out there.
What are we saying, Newman? Are we in agreement? Are we disagreeing with that one?
I think Mav's hit the nail on the head, to be honest with you. With Abraham, I just think there's a lot more to his game. I can't see Tony going to like the next level as such. I think his only chance to potentially even take it to the next level and inflate his stats and the way people look at him was if he was to go to Arsenal. Because I know there was a semi-bit of talk about it, wasn't there? Obviously, he's a competent finisher, but I just think his position is probably around that like 8th to like 12th place kind of team where he's going to bag double figures each season, but I think that's about it. Whereas Abraham, still young, still a lot to come from him. I think he can still go to the top as well. I think England will be looking at Abraham alongside obviously Calvert-Lewin and others, but I do think that's up for grabs. But I'm just talking in terms of like what
I know what you mean.
What England go for, and I think there's probably no one better than Abraham to replace, unless I'm missing someone out, which I can't remember on top of my head. I don't think there's anyone better than Abraham to kind of replace Kane when he ends up leaving. Obviously, for the Italians to respect you over there as a player like Abraham, then you got to respect him, eh?
Yeah, very true. To be fair, if you are going to Rome and they're being polite to you, that means you're doing your thing.
He's obviously doing a good job,
bro. 100%. The fans love him. That's when you know he's doing something right, especially at Roma. Come on.
Kurt, are you on the same wavelength?
Mav said. I mean, I haven't watched Tony play week in, week out, but I do feel like Tammy has definitely more to his game for sure.
Yeah, You see, I'm gonna go Abraham here. However, I am gonna say that it's gonna be a lot closer than we think. I don't know. Something about Ivan Toney makes me feel like he can do it at a serious team. He's got underrated link-up play, in my opinion. We've seen Eriksen come in, we've seen Mbuemo and all these guys. His link-up play is actually quite fantastic for me. I don't see any reason why he can't go to Arsenal or, to be honest, even United once Ronaldo finally leaves to Lisbon or wherever he decides to go to next. I don't see why he can't do it. I still think Abraham will slightly pip him a little bit, but I don't want to downplay Ivan Toney, man. I think he's got it. So we're all going to go Abraham, but I think it's going to be very close or closer than we are expecting. We have 2 left. Now, the last 2 are a bit interesting because they're ones that struck a lot of debate from the actual Twitter thread. Now, this one, I think it's only going to go one way, but I want to see if anyone has we're going to call it testicular fortitude to pick the second player. Right. Because it's not looking likely. In the Twitter poll, before I tell you the names, the answers it went 98% to 2%. Those 2 players.
Okay, say less.
Those 2 players are Phil Foden and Jack Grealish.
Oh, what? What
3
are we doing
years
here?
time.
What are we doing here?
I just want to see if anyone is willing to risk themselves and say, do you know what? Pep's the kind of guy that when a winger comes there, he takes a year or 2 to mold them and they become sensational. I want to see if anyone has it in them to go for it.
Let's get mine out of the way with.
Go for it, please.
It's quite simple for me. Phil Foden is Man City. Man City will be at the top for a very long time. In terms of trophies, that's sorted. Wouldn't surprise me if he breaks all the records for trophies in terms of the English players, Roy Keane, etc., etc. It will take a lot, obviously, but I generally think he will.
The what players, mate? Is this Mwepu all over again?
What?
The English players like Roy Keane?
Irish.
Hey, fair enough, man.
Sorry. I mean, you know what I meant, English league. But anyway, all the English league players who obviously played in that United. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes and kills all their records. So the trophy side of things.
So do you think there's any scenario at all that, let's say, I don't know, for example, Pep, I think he's on a new deal to be fair, but let's say he leaves in a year or 2 or whatever. Nah. There's a slight difference in systems. Do you not think there's any possibility?
Nah, not at all.
Mav, what are you telling me, sir? Same.
Absolute. Like I said, absolute waste of time. The fact that it even got 2% is outrageous to me. This is coming from a Villa fan who, at one point, I will say this with chest, I would have fought people for this guy if he needed me to, but absolutely 0% chance is he ever going to be anywhere near Phil Foden. 0%, absolutely 0. Jack Grealish for City is a rotation player. At absolute most. Aston Villa is his level. That's the fact of the matter. Phil Foden can play for any team in the world and will walk into any team in the world within the next 3 years. There's no, my mind would never change on that. It's not even close.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah, no, this one. I mean, even if, let's say best case scenario for Grealish, right? He goes back to his Villa form, but he's playing for or alongside the City players. Even then, he's still go with Foden. So, it's just one of those where it's just no win situation. Assuming he reaches his maximum level with City, it still just won't be higher than Foden. So, there's just no chance. Nada.
Yeah, no chance.
I'm tempted to just invest 1p in Grealish or something, bro. Just because of, imagine in 3 years' time, we look back in this and we're all I don't know what can possibly happen. There's nothing I can think of that will happen that will make me think that Grealish is better than Foden. But there's always these things that you look back on and you think, wow.
It'll be one of those videos which come up on Twitter, won't it? Look at this clown saying this.
This is why you invest in Bitcoin. So I might just go Grealish just for the fun of it.
Foden would actually have to have a career-ending injury and not be playing football for 3 years. That's it.
Do you know what? Because this is like a forwards and wingers or attackers kind of video. I'm gonna save an outrageous one for maybe if we do a midfielders and defenders video next time. So I'm gonna be sensible. I'm gonna go Foden. I can't lie. There's no point me fighting Grealish's case. He is 5 years older than Foden. It's not gonna happen. I can't lie. Foden is probably the best English talent we've had since Wayne Rooney. I can't lie. Unless I'm missing someone,
him and Jude Bellingham are England's future.
Yeah, most likely. Fair enough. So we'll go Foden on that one. I thought maybe somebody would have the bravery to try something, but I guess not. And the last one. These man, it's not about investing your stocks anymore because they are past their best. But you can't do a video like this without these two. It has to be there for the interactions. And I think the answers might be interesting now because one of them is 37 years old. One of them is 34.
I knew this was coming. Literally,
this question is not about whose legacy is better, who was better, who's prime, who's a better footballer. In 3 years' time, when Ronaldo is 40 and Messi is 37, who will be the more desirable player if they're still playing? That is,
Messi's
go
going to
for
be
it.
in a retirement home in 3 years anyway, and Ronaldo's
You reckon?
Still playing.
Yeah,
I think
you know what?
Ronaldo's
I
still
kind of agree
playing.
with that one still.
I think Ronaldo's still playing. I think Messi will probably end his career before Ronaldo does. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't know. I think Ronaldo.
No, that's not unpopular at all. But he is the kind of
get
guy
that
that
Ronaldo
if Messi
wants
goes
to-
to
I think Ronaldo wants to make the point that he can still go on. Even
yeah,
at like a late
yeah,
age.
100%.
I get
He's
that
a
feeling from
maniac,
him.
bro.
Yeah.
If Messi goes to 40, Ronaldo will go to 44. Like, he'll make sure that Messi's done. And the records, Messi can't break anymore. He'll be like, okay, cool. Messi's done now. All right, let me just get 2-3 more goals and then, I'll stop, fam. They're going to be dragging him off the pitch like, bro, it's time to hang it up. He's good. No, sir. I need 5 more
Pele's
goals.
still adding 10 goals onto his career each bloody year.
Yeah, bro, we're not gonna have that, unfortunately, because obviously Pele has his Wikipedia thing that he can update without us checking. Ronaldo, we see the footage there, so I'll be honest, I'm gonna go Ronaldo only because but he's gonna be 40, he's gonna be 40 years old.
No, but he's got a
you know
body
what?
of like a 28-year-old. Like,
Nah, he does.
Like-
I'm gonna go Ronaldo. I don't know if Messi goes to Boca Juniors or Newell's, old boys and that. Ronaldo just seems to just not be bothered stopping. Like, he went and smashed Jake's phone and everyone thought, all right, yeah, he's done now. He's barely scoring goals again. He comes and just starts scoring braces and goals. I don't know how to stop this guy, honestly, but Messi will always be the GOAT. Mav, over to you.
I think I'm going to go the route you guys just went. I'm not getting involved in the GOAT convo. People know my standpoint.
dangerous, Mav.
No, people know my standpoint on those two. I think the
so
argument
you're sitting on
is
the fence on that one, Fairs? Okay.
yeah, no, I think the argument is a waste of time. I think it comes down to personal preference, always will do, and the answer will never ever be concluded. It will argue this until at the end of our days. That's it. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's got to do with the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is an absolute mentalist, and he is going to be in the gym every day of his life until he's 55 years of age. For that reason, I'm just going to say Ronaldo because it's a safer bet, but that's it.
Fair enough. Kurt, thoughts?
No, I actually think you guys made good points. I think Ronaldo will still be playing. There's a good chance Messi will be actually retired. But the question was, who will be the better football player? So, I mean, even if Messi's playing football in the back garden with his sons, he's still better than Ronaldo. So it's an easy choice. For
You're not
me.
wrong, to be fair.
It's Messi. So. Yeah, there's a good chance
you made a
Ronaldo's
valid-
retired.
Okay.
Messi's retired, but I don't think that will change my answer.
All right. So how about let's phrase it in this way, because I hear your perspective and that also makes sense. If you are in 3 years' time picking one for your team, they are playing for Inter. Are you taking Ronaldo or Messi, like at their respective ages?
I mean, if it means playing professionally, then I'll take Messi because that means Messi's training week in, week out. But yeah, I think he'll hang it up. But if we can convince him to play, yeah, it can be Messi.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Do you know what? I can't lie. I'm slightly you've changed my mind a little bit. I'll be honest. You've changed my mind a little bit. But at the same time, we're seeing what Messi's on in the Uber Eats. People are not really, a fan of it too much. We've got guys like Kurt that are checking flash scores every day to see if he's got pre-assists and stuff. It's a bit scary at the moment for Lionel Messi. Whereas Ronaldo's just scoring like 15, 20 goals again. I'm going to stick with my answer. There's no sitting on the fence here. I'm going to go with Ronaldo in 3 years' time, whether that be at Sporting, whether that be at #United, under the radar, or I don't know, my local Sunday League team, or whoever he's playing for. I think he's still going to be doing a job more than Messi at 37 years old, unless he's dropping a lot deeper to just chill out and spray passes and say, do you know what, guys, you lot do the attacking, you lot are younger than me now, I'm done with this stuff.
Ronaldo, you said we do that. Yeah.
No, Messi. I'm saying Messi drops way deep. Ronaldo
dropping deep.
Ronaldo saying, "Give me the ball. I need 2 more goals. Pele's right there. Give me." Ronaldo is not doing that. No,
Ronaldo could drop deep. It'd still be better than Bruno, though.
Yeah, very true. But Bruno, that one we'll save that one for the midfielder video. This has definitely been a very interesting one. Like I said, we can revisit it in like a year to see if anyone wants to like have any final changing of their minds. Comment your 10. Let me know what side you're on or whose opinions you agree with the most. Draft will be next week. We'll see what go on. It might be a little under 23 draft because today has been interesting, and maybe we'll do a little under 23 draft in the next one. But yeah, other than that, have a blessed week and whatever. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll shout you man in a bit.